So if the shutdown literally is ending, I don't know, next week, knock on some wood or something, it's going to be taxed heavily. Okay. Which I would just be happy that I got a check. I'm just going to be honest. In this video, we're going to go over the first paycheck for the month of November. Now, this is going to be a little different. If you do not know, I go to work every day and I'm not getting paid.
Who would have thought?
I'm not furloughed because furlough means that you don't go to work. But just know that I'm not getting paid for whatever they call it. Okay. And I go to work. So we're going to budget my husband's income. And then my husband and I have decided to take a couple dollars from money that we have already had in our checking account. Usually we do a zero-based budgeting, but lately we've been playing it by ear. We prefer to have a little bit of money in our savings account, not our savings, in our checking account, just to make us feel a little safe. 1, 2, we also prefer to take out cash. So that's another thing you're going to see in this video. Now, if you don't know, my name is Mo, and I'm on my financial freedom journey with my husband, and we going through it, y'all. But guess what? We're getting through it, and we're going to be okay. And if we not really going to be okay, we praying we're going to be okay. Okay?
You're going to be okay.
Okay. Now, I do a blog post on paperbymode.com every Sunday. So this most recent blog was about trauma shopping. Can I tell y'all? I'm not getting paid. My husband's getting paid, and we're able to live off of his check. We just got to curb some bills and some expenses. But why would I start shopping? Why would I start shopping? That makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? I'm just going to chop it up to trauma shopping. So basically in that blog, I'm telling you guys my experience and some things and tips and tricks that I'm trying to use for myself that will actually help. I think it's a control thing, but here we are. Another thing, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my fingers are black, and that is because I dyed my hair, okay? Let's talk about trauma shopping and trauma spending, okay? Because why do you need to go get some box dye? But that's what I did. That's what Mo did. She dyed her hair. So yes, my nails are going to look a little weird on the left hand. I did wear gloves, but you know what? I don't know, y'all. I do not know. Now, if you are interested in financial freedom, savings, budgeting, debt, income, all the things money, I have videos about all of those things, and I talk about them consistently with at least one weekly post. So if you haven't joined the family, go ahead and join the family by subscribing to this YouTube channel, and make sure you stay tuned. I'm excited for 2026. I feel like I have to start off by saying that because I have so many plans, so many hopes for Paper by Mo for 2026. First things first, I am going to be doing a financial planning service, but I'm not going to do that at the top of the year. I'm going to work my way into that because I want to make sure it's perfect. Okay. That's 1. 2, I'm also going to be doing bundle deals. Like I do a lot of printables, whether it's budgets, printable budgets, printable sinking funds, printable debt trackers, savings trackers, all those things. Instead of buying them separately, I'm going to do some bundle deals for 2026. I'm going to call it a 2026 kit, maybe. So you guys go to paperbymode.com. Make sure you guys stay on the lookout for that. Another thing I have decided to do is I think I'm going to rebrand a little bit Paper by Mo. I was asking myself and talking to God, like, why did I create Paper by Mo? Initially, it was to keep myself accountable, but not lately. I've been having people like message me in DM, what about this? What do I think about saving money for this? Or if I save in this increment or pay off debt in this increment? And I am so grateful that you guys come to me and ask me questions. So I think, and it's the girls, it's the women, it's the ladies, okay? So I basically am rebranding Paper by Mo to be a service for women, okay, to help us with our numbers without any regret, without any shame, right? That is what Paper by Mo is going to be rebranding. So my content moving forward will definitely have that air to it, okay? Let's get into this budget, if you will. So if you don't know, this right here, this binder, this is my budget planner. I think I'm going to buy another one for 2026. I don't know. I just want to keep the momentum up. Keep it up, if you will. Okay. And we gotta close out 2025 eventually. It is November, so we do have the rest of this month and next month, but have barely touched this. And I'm gonna be honest, I was like, girl, you only did 3 things. But if that's the case, I'm okay with it. I think I can live with that. That's 3 things I didn't have in 2024, when it coming into this year. So a win is a win, baby. We definitely got to go over the home fund. I'm going to be honest. We have not given any money to our home fund. We have been just letting money sit. So I got paid. The last time I got paid was the first paycheck in October. And so I didn't get paid the second paycheck. And no, I'm lying. The second paycheck in October, I got $1 and let's see, $1.73. Okay. I haven't gotten paid in November. So that $1.73, y'all, I'm not even lying to you. I tried to buy a candy bar at my job and it cost me $1.99. So that tells you about that. I'm going to take a couple of these sheets out because if you don't know, I do write hard and thick, y'all. Hard and thick. Speaking of shopping, let me show you guys what I have been shopping and what I purchased. So I bought me some more pens. I love a Precise V5 pen. This is a fine point because all the ones that I have, these blues, they are out of ink and I've been holding on because I just didn't want to buy more pens, especially when the pack of pens cost like a $10 or $11. But then I said, I got time. Okay, let's just spend the money you're not making. Is that what I said? I think that's what I said, y'all. Let's just spend the money you're not making and get you some pens. So 1 is because yes, these pens are out of ink. 2, I like writing on this YouTube channel with the pens, budgeting with the pens. But 3, your girl is studying for a certification and I like to be colorfully organized when it comes to studying. So yes, I got reasons, but I'm still spending money, y'all. I am being honest. And so I'm definitely going to have to do transaction updates. Hate doing transaction updates, but that's what we're doing. Right now and today, we are writing with our liquid magnets. This is a Skillcraft pen. All of these pens are available on my Amazon storefront. So let's get into it. Wait, let's see. When were we paid for November? So the money that's coming in is not enough to actually suffice for all of our regular expenses, food, gas, everything. Like, we're not talking about savings. We're not talking about extra debt payments. The numbers, it just doesn't suffice for the bills, all of our bills, and all of our food and gas. You need gas to go to work. You need food to eat, right? And our fun. And you're probably thinking fun is not a necessity, but fun money is a necessity because the last paycheck in October, we did not put any money towards fun, but that doesn't mean we didn't spend any. You got to give yourself some room for error. So maybe you should call it a room for error fund, but here we are. Okay, so we got paid on the 7th. I say we, but really my husband, but we are one. Okay, so we're going to say 11/7/25, and this is paycheck number 1. Okay. Now, like I said, the numbers aren't per se enough to fully fund everything, but my husband and I have always tried to make sure that our expenses are low enough where we're not destitute. Like, even though we can't fully fund everything, we're not in a destitute state. We're not in a horrible state where we're just like, oh my gosh, we're going to move out, we're going to be evicted, things like that. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into this budget. Now, traditionally, I do a zero-based budget. But like I said, a couple things that keeps my husband and I feeling better and feeling safe is cash. Okay, so we did take some cash. We're going to discuss that. And not having $0 in our checking account. For whatever reason, that gives us the warm and fuzzies. Doesn't make sense to us. Maybe not in general. So we usually start off with $0 saying starting, but we decided to take some money out of that checking and get the cash. Now that cash, no, not that cash, but put it towards our actual budget. This is $500 as well, but this $500 is coming from that first paycheck in October that we never took out, right? We just decided to take some of that out. Okay, so we're going to say we're starting off with $500. Again, this is not the cash. Now, with this, we're going to go ahead and put O, that is my husband's full-time. And then we're going to put Mo, that is your girl who isn't making any money, full-time. Okay, so my husband's full-time is $1,772.76. And then I'm getting $0. Now, a question I was asked is, am I getting back pay? I will get back pay. The thing about a back pay, one, when are we getting it, right? But two, now it's going to be 2 checks that's coming in that we're going to have for back pay. And so that means there's more money. So it's going to be higher tax. So one thing my husband and I decided to do, and this is just for now, but depending on how we feel, we might continue with it. So we upped my 401k from 5% to 10%. Okay. So let's do 500 plus $1,772.76. So that is $2,272.76. So that's what we're going to write. $2,272.76. So we upped the 401k. You're thinking, well, you're going to get less money. That doesn't make any sense. It does make sense to us because that means there's going to be less money being taxed. This is pre-tax dollars that's going to come out of my 401k, not the Roth, right? So that way, I usually give about $260, $270 to my 401k. So let's just do $270, right? If we times it by 2, because remember it's doubling, that's 5%. So now we're going to do $540, okay? Now, that's going to be twice the amount that I'm giving, and then my job gives 5%, so then we're going to plus the 270. So it's going to be 810. And this is for 1 check. So then we're going to times that by 2. So each month is going to be $1,600, about $1,600. I'm not sure if that's the exact number. Number one. Number two, it's less money that we will receive. So that means it's less money that'll be taxed. So yes, it's still our money. No, we won't be able to actually touch it, but at least it'll be going to our 401k, right? At least go to our retirement. So we sat down. Those are the thoughts that we came up with. Now, granted, that change in my 401k does not take place until December. So if the shutdown literally is ending, I don't know, next week, knock on some wood or something, it's going to be taxed heavily. Okay. Which I would just be happy that I got a check. I'm just going to be honest, because going to work and not getting a check is depressing. Hint, hint, trauma shopping. Anyways, so $2,272.76. So you're wondering, why did you guys choose to take the $500 out of your checking if having money in the account makes you feel safe? It does make us feel safe. We still have money left over. The reason why we took out $500 is because the first paycheck for us is bill heavy. Say it with me now. Bill heavy. First paycheck, bill heavy. So we were just a little worried, darling. We was a little worried. I gotta be honest. So let's start getting into the numbers. So the fixed expenses are our bills. So we have our rent. Okay. Now, usually our rent, when we split it, it's $700. Let me see. I just want to show you guys. Okay, so our rent total is $1,545. We take that number and we split it in 2. So $1,545 and we divide that by 2. $772.50. So when we do our first paycheck, our second paycheck, we this is normal and abnormal. Okay. When we do our first paycheck and second paycheck, we just do $772.50 and then times it by 2. That equals that $1,545, right? And then our water sewage, we give $105. So we divide that by 2 as well. And then we put that on our per check that comes in. Now, because we're a little nervous here, we decided to try to up the rent. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, girl, just do what you normally do. But we didn't. So instead of giving the $772, we gave $825. The reason behind this is because we are usually a bill a 1 month ahead, right? But we got some things that are on pause or that's not being contributed to. 1. 2, we took way more from our bill account, meaning the bills that we pay, they don't come from our regular checking account, they come from our bill checking account. So usually we'll have a little extra in our bill checking account, but nowadays the extra isn't there. Okay. That does not give us warm and fuzzies. So my husband and I decided to give $8.25 to the rent. Now, water and sewage, same old, $52.50. $52.50. Are we going to do this? Both checks? We don't know. But, $8.25 plus $52.50. So $877.50. Now, all of that will be going to our rent for the month of December. The good news is the year will be over. Bad news is we got to keep doing this depending on how long the shutdown lasts. Okay. But the good news also is we're figuring it out. Now, that's what we've decided to do for the rent and the water/sewage. It just makes us feel a little bit more prepared. Now, another thing is our electricity. Our electricity was $213.03. Hate that for us. Now, we can get it paused or, to stop paying it. But the reason why my husband and I decided not to do it is because December is just going to be November and December's, right? Or January's is going to be November, December, and you know what I mean? So we just was like, because we did talk to some people and it's not like they're going to stop the payment. They're just going to push it back. So you're still going to have a big bill that's due later. And I know that future mode is going to hate current mode if we do that. So my husband and I were just like, let's just pay it because we got it to pay. So $213.03. Now, internet is $50. That too is going to come out. Our gym. Now, I know what you're thinking, girl, cancel the gym membership. So first things first, we can't. We signed a 12-month lease or contract or whatever. We did talk to them. They're not letting us cancel. Number 2. If you're thinking like, oh, gym is not a necessity, I'm gonna be honest with you, going to the gym has been helping me not lose my mind. Okay. I feel like I will probably have lost all my marbles instead of maybe like 1 or 2, just a dabble or whatever. So the gym has been a little saving grace, if you will. I don't know, but I'm sure there's a study out there talking about the good effects of the gym when you're about to lose your freaking mind. Okay. There's an I. So when it comes to car insurance, $185.85. You gotta be insured, y'all. So that's that. That's for my husband and my car. And then the phone bill. This is my husband, my mom's, and my phone bill. So this is $182. Now this goes to my mom account. I got it automatically pulled out. That's what we do. So there's a few bills, because this is all the bills that we're gonna put. There's a few bills that we're not putting on here. My husband's student loans, my student loans, and our subscriptions. Let's talk. So my husband's student loans and my student loans, we usually pay the bill and then we'll do like an extra payment down here in the debt area. But the thing is, because we do those extra payments, I've always clicked the box that says, account this for the next payment. And my husband's like, why are you always doing that? And I said, because you never know when we're going to be in a situation, in a tizzy, and hello, we're in the tizzy. So we don't owe an actual bill until 2026. Now, our student loans are accruing interest at a disgusting rate. I can't even tell you what it is because I'm scared to go look. I can't tell you like as of today, as of the Tuesday you will be seeing this. Can't tell you because I'm scared to go look. But just know that his and mine are accruing interest. Mine is in the 50,000. My husband's is in the like late teens, maybe like 19,000. So that is my student loans. That's my husband's student loans. Now the subscriptions, the reason why I didn't put the subscriptions down is because, are we paying them? Here's the thing. The only thing that we have for subscriptions is, Apple Music and Apple Storage at this particular moment. We were doing Hulu, but we canceled the Hulu because they were going to go up on price. And the reason why we're not accounting for the subscriptions is because the subscriptions get paid via our credit card, and we are giving the minimum to that too. I'm just being honest. Maybe a little more than minimum. That might be dramatic. So that is the bills that we're paying right now. Now there are some more bills that's going to come up, like our life insurance, but that's going to be on the next paycheck. What else is on here? I think that's it. Yeah, our life insurance, that's going to be the next paycheck. Our life insurance comes through at the end of the month. Now that does go to our checking. So, you know, that's not going credit card. And we should have did credit card. I don't think they allowed us to. So 825 plus 5250 plus 213.03 plus $50 plus $70 plus 185.85 and then plus 182. Okay, so that's $1,578.38. Okay, 1,578.38. So we're going to take that number. It's going to say negative. I promise it's not negative. I'm just subtracting backwards. And then I'm going to subtract 2,700. 2,200. I was wishful thinking. $2,272.76. So we got $694.38 left over. $694.38. So we're going to take this and we're going to move on to variable expenses. These are supposed to be expenses that are going to change, but they don't really change. Now, we are going to put our fun money on here. We're not going to give it $50 a person, but we're going to give it something because just because we didn't budget for it doesn't mean we haven't been swiping our card. So hopefully this helps us with not swiping our card, and maybe we need to get cash out for this. So food. That's going to be $250. We try to spend $500 a month. So my husband's gas, because he has to go to work, it's about $35 every 2 weeks. Our cars do pretty good on gas. The day my car is no more, or his car is no more, you'll see me crying here on this YouTube channel. No, but we always say, like, it would be sad and distraught. I've seen videos on like TikTok and Instagram where people are getting a new car and then they make you pay subscriptions to use stuff in the car. It's just actually gross. Okay, it is nasty because how are you? It's just, you're just money hungry at this point. Okay, so his fun and my fun, O fun and Mo fun. We said we were gonna do $30. $30. So the fun money is usually also what my husband pays for his haircut in. I told him to start putting it on his credit card. But then he told me that his barber don't take credit cards, so basically he has to do cash. So I was like, well, he can just take some from sinking funds or something, you know, because that's difficult. So let's do 250 plus 35 plus 35 plus 30. Nope. Yeah, plus 30 plus 30. Okay, we got $380. Now, again, the bad news here is once we get out of this, we're going to have some credit card debt. Okay. So let's do $694.38. But the good news is we're hopeful and prayerful that we'll have enough money to pay that credit card. Now, we know that we owe our house account $3,000. And I'll explain. So $694.38 subtract $380. That is $314.38. $314.38. Okay. So then we're gonna take this and we're gonna move it to our savings. Even though we haven't been doing too much savings, the holidays are coming up. I've been telling my family holidays are canceled. But here we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to do $100 sinking fund. So this is where like my husband will get his haircut. I have a wax appointment, so I'm going to get that done. Now, like I said, depending on how long this is bad, we might change, alter, readjust, you know, what we actually spend our money on. But we do see a light at the end of the tunnel. So, you know, hopefully this isn't forever. And then cash family fund, this is going to be $214.38. Yeah, $214.38. Okay, so this is going to be $314.38. And so what's going to be remaining is $0. So we're not cash stuffing the $214.38. where we're cash stuffing is from a previous check. I know it's a hot mess. I know what you're thinking, but you know, I'm not disagreeing with you. So this is gonna be cash. And then we're thinking food's gonna be cash, and we need to get some cash for this and for this. So what I'll do is I'll put an asterisk for the stuff we still need to get cash for, so my husband and I can know. Cash still need. Okay, really quick, really fast, to explain why we owe our house fund $3,000. So we've been trying to give our house fund $1,000 from each check. That's been the goal here. Now, in October, I got the first paycheck of October, and I kind of had a feeling that was going to be the last paycheck I get for a little while. So the money that my husband and I brought in from this, we basically let sit here. So we did not give $1,000. We did not give $1,000. So we owe, let's see. I want to do it in purple, maybe. Yeah, we'll say oh. Oh, look, everything is going out. Okay, so we owe house. We owe sinking fund. Hell, we're going to owe IRA. IRA. So that $200, we're not going to owe because she's going to be good. Safe is $37.16. That's just basically to keep us there for a little pocket full of sunshine. Okay, we're gonna owe that. So that's $1,000. Second paycheck budget, house. We're gonna owe that. HWSE, and you know that's gonna be $1,000 because that's always $1,000. But I don't want to put how much it will be because it's going to mess up the budget a little bit. But we're going to owe, so that's $2,000 we're going to owe the house. And then, this one right here, it's going to be house, and we're going to owe this $1,000. So that's $3,000 we're going to owe the house. $1,000 we're going to owe the sinking fund. And then, so that's $4,000. Okay, let's write these numbers out because this is a due Z. So that's going to be house, we're going to owe. So you're wondering, what are we doing with the numbers? Obviously, we don't have that extra $1,000, but we do have, again, the October, that first paycheck, and it's sitting in our account just in case. So like when times like these, we were able to take out $500 from starting to help us out in the meantime, in between time. Obviously, we want to be able to afford a house one day. Houses in DMV area are super duper expensive, and we want to have $50,000 saved, but that's not a necessity. So sometimes you got to get to bare bones and you got to get to necessities. So that's why we're gonna owe $3,000 for house, 3 checks, and then $1,000 sinking funds. That's $4,000. We're gonna owe $100 to IRAs. And from there, we should be good, I think. So that's going to be, yeah. I'm interested to see what the back pay looks like, if it's before the 401k change hits or if it's going to be after the 401k change hits. But we're doing the best we can. I'm pretty proud of us, I'm going to be honest. Yes, I can do better and not spend. But honestly, am I depressed or what, you know? So we're able to, with all our bills, with my husband's income of $3,400. What's $3,400 a check? $3,400 divided by 2. Oh, yeah, I think so. $3,400 divided by 2. 7. Girl, we're gonna have a problem. I know we're gonna have a problem. Okay, clear all. $3,400 divided by 2, 17. Okay, $3,400 divided by 2 is $1,700. Obviously, he made a little more than $1,700. But what I'm saying is we'll definitely be able to afford everything. One thing, we didn't put fun here, but we did take out $500. And yes, and then we said month ahead. So I guess that extra would be accounted for the month ahead, right? But we are figuring it out. Ooh, my words are all jumbled. Figuring it out. If you guys are going through the same process and you're doing something different, let me know in the comments. We faking it till we make it. And I believe this will be a testimony once we get through it. And this will help us in the future, because if this happens again, we'll be like, you know what? No stress, no sweat. We know how to get through this because we already got through it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this November 1st paycheck budget, us making it work even though the math don't math. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Bye.